You saved up. You planned for months. You landed in Germany, and within 48 hours, your passport was gone. Your cards were gone. And the worst part, you never even felt it happen. Germany is one of the safest countries in Europe for violent crime. But there's a different kind of danger hiding in plain sight, operating in broad daylight at the most famous landmarks on your bucket list. Today, we're counting down 10 destinations where you need your guard up. Stay until the end, because number 1 is where the most sophisticated scam in Europe runs daily, and most tourists fall for it before they even know what's happening. Here's what makes this different from every other travel warning you've heard. This isn't random crime. Organized pickpocket networks have mapped exactly where tourists cluster, exactly when they're distracted, and exactly how to vanish before you notice. The locations they've chosen? The same ones already on your must-see list. Let's get into it. Number 10. Kurfürstendamm and Tauentzienstraße, Berlin. Known locally as the Kudamm, this is Berlin's answer to the Champs-Élysées. Luxury stores, department stores, tourists everywhere. It sounds glamorous, and it is. It's also a prime working zone for bag snatchers and wallet lifters. The tactic here is simple but ruthless. Someone bumps into you near a shop entrance. You drop something, or you stop to check yourself. In that 2-second window, someone else, who you didn't even notice, has already reached into your open bag. These aren't solo operators. They move in groups of 3 or 4, with each person playing a specific role. One distracts, one executes, one shields. One walks away with your belongings before you've finished your sentence. The Kudamm is still worth visiting. The architecture alone is stunning, but keep your bag in front of your body, zipped shut, and stay alert near shop entrances. Number 9. Hackescher Markt and Museum Island, Berlin. Museum Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 5 world-class museums on one island in the middle of the Spree River. Hackescher Markt nearby is Berlin's trendiest neighborhood, full of boutiques and street cafes. But here's where it gets interesting. The real vulnerability isn't at the museums themselves, it's getting there. Certain U-Bahn and S-Bahn lines connecting to these areas are frequently flagged by Berlin police for pickpocketing. The moment of boarding and exiting a crowded train is peak opportunity for a thief. You're focused on the door, you're carrying a backpack, you're excited about the day ahead. That's exactly when it happens. Rule: on Berlin's public transport, hold your bag in front of your body during boarding and exiting. Never use a backpack without a front clip or lock when riding the train. Number 8. Reeperbahn and Hamburg Hauptbahnhof, Hamburg. Hamburg is an extraordinary city. The Speicherstadt Warehouse District, the Elbphilharmonie Concert Hall, the incredible port. But 2 areas demand extra attention. The Reeperbahn is Hamburg's famous nightlife strip. At night, the combination of crowds, alcohol, and the general chaos of a busy entertainment district creates ideal conditions for theft. Distraction is easy when everyone around you is distracted. But Hamburg Hauptbahnhof, the central train station, is where it gets more serious. Like many major European train stations, it attracts not just travelers, but also people running scams targeting tourists with luggage. If someone you don't know offers to help you with your bags, politely decline and keep moving. Also worth noting, Munkebergstraße, Hamburg's main shopping street nearby, carries similar risks to Berlin's Kudamm. Busy, touristy, and popular with organized pickpocket teams. Number 7. Cologne Cathedral area. Few buildings on Earth are as breathtaking as the Kölner Dom. It took over 600 years to complete. Standing at its base, looking up at those twin spires, you genuinely feel something. And that feeling, that awe, is exactly what thieves count on. The area around the cathedral is one of the most densely crowded tourist zones in Germany. During major events and peak summer months, the square outside becomes nearly impossible to move through. And in that kind of density, an experienced pickpocket can work through a crowd methodically, hitting multiple targets in minutes. The scam to watch for here is what's called the fake petition. Someone approaches with a clipboard, asks you to sign something for a good cause, and while you're focused on the paper, an accomplice moves on your bag. It's been reported repeatedly in this area. Sign nothing. Keep walking. Number 6. Frankfurt Central Station and Bahnhofsviertel. Frankfurt's Hauptbahnhof is one of the busiest train stations in Europe. Millions of travelers pass through every year, and for pickpockets, that's not a problem. That's a business model. Arriving tourists are especially vulnerable here. You've just landed, you have luggage, you're checking your phone for directions, you're tired, you don't know the layout, you're the easiest target in the building. The Bahnhofsviertel, the neighborhood immediately surrounding the station, has historically been Frankfurt's roughest district. Drug-related activity is visible in some blocks, and the general advice is, don't linger outside the station at night. Get to your transport and move on. Frankfurt itself, once you're away from this immediate zone, is a fascinating city. The Römerberg Old Town, the Museumsufer, excellent. Just don't let your first 10 minutes derail the whole trip. Number 5. Oktoberfest grounds and major Christmas markets. This one isn't a fixed location. It's a seasonal phenomenon, and it might be the most important entry on this list. Oktoberfest. 16 days, 7 million visitors, rivers of beer, and pickpocket networks that treat it like a professional event. Inside the festival tents, inside the crowds between stalls, the noise, the density, the drinking, it's operationally perfect for theft. Victims often don't notice until hours later that their phone or wallet is gone. The same applies to Germany's Christmas markets in Munich, Nuremberg, Cologne, Berlin. Beautiful, atmospheric, genuinely magical, and specifically targeted by organized theft groups every single year because the crowds are dense, people are in a festive mood, and bags hang loosely from shopping-tired arms. For these events, use a front-facing cross-body bag with a zipper. Leave your main cards at the hotel. Carry only what you need for that day. Number 4. East Side Gallery, Berlin. The longest remaining stretch of the Berlin Wall. Over a kilometer of art, history, and one of the most powerful open-air galleries on the planet, and one of the most consistently reported pickpocketing sites in Berlin. The issue here is predictable. Tourists stop. They take their time. They hold up their phone or camera. They back up to frame a shot. And while they're physically and mentally occupied with capturing the moment, someone is physically occupied with their unzipped jacket pocket. The Holocaust Memorial nearby carries similar reports. These are sacred, contemplative spaces, which means tourists are moving slowly, standing still, and deeply focused on something other than their surroundings. Be present, but stay aware. Number 3. Marienplatz, Munich. Marienplatz is Munich's heart. The Glockenspiel, the new town hall, the street performers, the cafes. Every visitor to Munich ends up here, which is precisely the problem. The area around Munich's main station, Hauptbahnhof, compounds the issue. Between the station and Marienplatz, you have two of the highest traffic tourist zones in Bavaria within walking distance of each other. The pickpocket technique reported most here is the tourist bump, a deliberate collision in a crowded area, usually near a cafe entrance or information sign, followed by an apologetic interaction while a second person works your bag or pockets. After paying for a coffee, after consulting a map, those transition moments when your attention is split are when you're most exposed. Stay sharp at those transitions specifically. Number 2. Alexanderplatz, Berlin. Alexanderplatz is the beating heart of Berlin's east side. The TV tower dominates the skyline. Trains converge from every direction. Street food, markets, buskers, it's electric. Berlin police have specifically and publicly flagged Alexanderplatz as a high-risk zone for pickpocketing. It's one of the few locations in Germany where authorities have issued explicit, repeated public warnings. The risk is concentrated at 2 moments: during large outdoor events in the plaza, when density spikes dramatically, and on the S-Bahn and U-Bahn platforms directly below and around the square. During rush hour or event dispersal, those platforms become exactly the kind of chaotic environments where professional thieves thrive. If you're at Alexanderplatz, and you should go, it's iconic, treat it like any major transit hub. Bags in front, pockets zipped. Phone in your hand or your pocket, not sitting on a cafe table. Number 1. Brandenburg Gate, Berlin. If there is one location in Germany that consistently tops every pickpocketing report, every traveler forum, every police advisory, it's the Brandenburg Gate. And it makes complete sense when you think about it. This is the symbol of Germany. Every tourist comes here. They stand in the middle of a wide open plaza, surrounded by hundreds of other tourists, and they do the same thing. They look up. They raise their phone or camera. They take the photo. They stop thinking about everything else. That's not a criticism. It's human. The Brandenburg Gate deserves that reaction. But organized teams operate in this space every single day, rotating through, identifying targets, executing quickly, and disappearing into the crowd in seconds. The nearby areas, Unter den Linden, the Reichstag, the government district, carry the same risk level. You're in the most photographed, most visited square kilometer in Germany. Act accordingly. The Brandenburg Gate is non-negotiable on any Berlin trip. Just make sure your valuables are secured before you arrive, not after you've already been standing there for 10 minutes. Here's what this list really comes down to. Every single one of these places is worth visiting. Germany's history, architecture, and culture are extraordinary, and none of that changes because of a pickpocket risk. What changes is your preparation. Secure your valuables before you arrive. A money belt, a zipped crossbody bag, cards split across 2 pockets, your passport backed up in the cloud. 30 seconds of prep, and you're free to stand at the Brandenburg Gate or walk the East Side Gallery and actually be there, without looking over your shoulder the whole time. That's the whole game. Germany is worth every bit of the trip. Just go prepared. If this video helped you, share it with whoever you're traveling with. It takes 5 seconds and could save them a really bad day. Subscribe if you want more honest travel guides like this, and drop a comment below. Which of these spots are you visiting? I read all of them. Safe travels. See you in the next one.